Hello from the newsroom at the North Pole. I'm Frank Murr of North Pole Radio News. 2 weeks from today is Christmas Eve around the world, leaving just days now for North Pole Flight Command to prepare for Santa's launch. Joining us from Flight Command today with an update is our Eye in the Sky reporter, Crash Murphy. Crash, what's happening over there?
Today was the first of several meetings about coordinating events for Christmas Eve, Frank. As you know, because you were there today, there was a meeting between the news department and Flight Command about the schedule of events.
Yes, I was there, Crash, and it's always a great meeting when we learn how things are going to work for us on the radio this year. Were there any surprises for you in that meeting, Crash?
No, I don't really think so. I think all the work the news department has put together was the biggest thing to come out of the meeting, Frank. I know Flight Command is impressed with the planned coverage of Santa's flight this year on the radio.
Yes, we have 2 anchors in the newsroom, 3 anchors covering Flight Command, and 1 anchor in each sector. So plenty of wall-to-wall coverage starting as we traditionally do on December 23rd. There's little North Pole Flight Command will be doing on the 23rd and 24th that we won't be talking about, Crash.
Are you taking your vitamins, Frank? 2 days is a long time to be on the radio.
Yeah, on those 2 days each year, I feel a little like you, Crash. You fly even longer than Santa does because you go on the final test flight of Santa's sleigh. Is that still the plan for you this year?
Yeah, it's important to do that, Frank. Going on that flight really helps me to do my job. In some ways, it's scarier than the real flight of Santa's sleigh because the final test flight is designed to push the sleigh to its limits. Santa is a much more conservative pilot and actually takes a few chances, Frank. By the time Santa crawls into that baby, I'll know it as well as he does, and I'll be ready to tell a story.
Okay, Crash, we look forward to what you have to say as you follow Santa around the world just 2 weeks from today. From the North Pole, where tracking Santa on the radio is our life, I'm Frank Murr, reporting for Santa Upcom on the Kringle Radio Network. Greetings from the North Pole News Desk. I'm Frank Murr of North Pole Radio News. It's another Monday at the North Pole and another Monday where we find ourselves asking about Santa's reindeer. Joining us from the reindeer barn with the latest news about Vixen is our Eye in the Sky reporter, Crash Murphy. Crash, since your report a week ago, we have received a lot of mail and a lot of questions about Vixen.
Yeah, I know, Frank. My mail is showing the same thing, all about Vixen and whether she's going to be okay. According to Elf Hugo, Vixen's pulling in more mail than Rudolph right now, and that's saying something. She's second only to Santa at the moment at the North Pole Post Office.
I think Mrs. Willett's 4th grade class from Wisconsin in the United States has the best way of asking the most common question we're seeing, Crash. So I'll ask it of you. What will Vixen do on Christmas if she can't fly for Santa?
Well, first of all, Frank, we have to understand that to Vixen, that's an unthinkable thing. She's been flying for Santa since she was 3 years old, which is extraordinary, Frank. And the answer is that I don't really know. I think that question would be answered only at the last minute if it's determined that it's just not safe for her to fly for Santa this year. And I'm pretty sure Santa himself would certainly be involved in what would happen for her next. I know Santa, and I know how it would break his heart to have to tell Vixen that she couldn't go. So I'm certain that Santa would have something really special for her to do as a replacement for her customary duties.
Crash, we're 12 days away from launch. Do you think Vixen can be strong enough and healthy enough to go in just 12 days?
Now, I would not count her out, Frank. Vixen is a fighter. She's always been a feisty one. That's just her personality. She's all heart, which is just one of many reasons Santa loves her and has her on his starting team. The fact that doctors are not saying one way or the other yet if they recommend that she goes tells me there's still a chance here.
What kind of mail is Vixen getting sent down to her at Santa's stables?
It's all good medicine, Frank. She's receiving get well cards and Christmas cards, drawing from kids everywhere. Some are also sending her reindeer treats of all kinds, which her trainers have to be careful with. Vixen is, of course, sharing what she can't eat with the other reindeer because she says that everyone needs to feel that love that's coming in the mail.
Wow, Crash. No matter how this turns out for Vixen, it's been a great story. Please keep us updated on her progress. From the North Pole, where we're still trying to figure out what a reindeer treat is and if we want any ourselves, I'm Elf Frank Murr, reporting for SantaUpdate.com on the Kringle Radio Network. Hello again from the North Pole Newsroom. I'm Elf Frank Murr of North Pole Radio News. Santa's Workshop now has just 11 days to complete their work, and we're joined now from there by our Eye in the Sky reporter, F. Crash Murphy. Crash, how are things looking over there?
Frank, the workshop, by all accounts, is on track. But this is the week where things get really interesting, a time when the worlds collide here at the North Pole.
What does that mean, Crash?
It means the North Pole Post Office is streaming wish lists for Santa right into the workshop, and things are being adjusted here very quickly. That also means when a change is detected in what someone wants for Christmas, that the same adjustment has to be made in the wrapping department. So we have elves here from all those departments at the same time working on the same stuff all over each other. And of course, the Department of Redundancy department is here to make sure they do it all correctly.
The Department of Redundancy Department. Crash, every time I hear someone bring that department up, I see a lot of elves rolling their eyes.
Yeah, they're not very popular, Frank, and honestly, they're weird little dudes. Did you know their office here at the workshop has mirrors on every wall? Every time I go in there, I get dizzy.
They have an office over there?
The Department of Redundancy department has an office in every department, Frank, even the news department.
They do?
Yeah, make your list and check it twice, Frank. Those guys are watching you. You better watch out.
Okay, Crash, thanks for that cheery reminder. From the North Pole, where we never pout, I'm Elf Frank Murr, reporting for SantaUpdate.com on the Kringle Radio Network.